I think all of us that have played Call of Duty for at least a couple years have really realized how Warzone has changed the Call of Duty ecosystem. And there's some things that are becoming very noticeable now, because Call of Duty used to be mainly multiplayer based. Like, we've had the three modes: campaign, zombies, and multiplayer. And of course, sometimes if it's like an Infinity Ward Call of Duty, we'll see Spec Ops instead of zombies, but we have those three modes. We have multiplayer, campaign, and a co-op. It's been pretty standard since COD 4. We've always had that standard Call of Duty formula, and that's what people have come to know and love. People will play Call of Duty just for the campaigns, people will play just for the zombies, and people will just play it for the multiplayer. And then there's those who play multiple of those game modes. But ever since Warzone came out, there's been a lot of focus on Warzone and not a lot of focus on multiplayer. And within the past 2 years, Modern Warfare and Cold War have launched with an extreme lack of content compared to the rest of the other Call of Duties. And I think this is straight up because of Warzone. Even Modern Warfare released with a lack of content, and because Modern Warfare was what hosted Warzone originally, I think a lot of their resources went into developing Warzone rather than developing like the start of the game. And Modern Warfare had a really good campaign, but at the beginning of the game, multiplayer wise, there wasn't that much in there until later on with the seasonal updates. So I think a lot of the resources went into Warzone, and same with Cold War. There was a lot of resources that went into the Cold War integration, and Cold War was almost rushed just because of the deadline that was moved way earlier than Cold War was slated to release. And I think recently a lot of people are realizing that Warzone isn't the end all be all for Call of Duty. Money wise, Activision sees Warzone as their biggest profit maker, because it is. Warzone makes Activision billions of dollars regardless of what people think about the game. But I think recently a lot of people that have been playing Call of Duty for years have gone from Warzone to multiplayer again, or to zombies again, and people are starting to leave Warzone and start to play those other game modes that Call of Duty has to offer, because people are just getting tired of the hackers and cheaters and just how Warzone plays. I think Warzone's a good game overall, and there's lots of fun to be had, but ever since, I would say, Cold War's integration, it's just gone downhill. And when Season 3 launched and there was the huge update and everything was balanced, it was fun for about 2 weeks, and then the hackers just developed new hacks to go undetected, and it just got really bad again. So ever since, I would say, 2021, Warzone's had solid issues almost the entire time, and that's just driving people away from the game. And I think Activision's slowly starting to notice this, because the player counts in the newer Call of Duties like Cold War and Modern Warfare is going up. You're noticing a lot more new players play the game. You're noticing a lot of people return to the game, whether that's on YouTube or just friends that you play with. And there's a lot of people playing older Call of Duties as well, whether that be like an IW4X server where people are playing like the remastered Modern Warfare games, or the Black Ops version. I don't remember what that one's called, but there's lots of people playing those on PC, and just a lot of people are playing older CODs now. And I think Activision is starting to notice this, and I've seen a little bit more effort put into Modern Warfare's multiplayer and both Cold War's multiplayer, just with the playlists and game modes they're adding. But I genuinely think we could be seeing a resurgence into the multiplayer and just the effort put into individual COD titles rather than just every focus on Warzone, because Warzone was really popular. I think none of us can deny that. It was one of the most popular games in the world, if not the most popular in 2020, even more so than GTA 5 and League of Legends. And then just overall, whether you were on Twitch or YouTube gaming, there is always like the top streamers were playing Warzone no matter what was going on. So I think that distracted Activision and a lot of the publishing studios to focus on Warzone rather than their own games. But I think now that Warzone slowly is falling off just because of the main issues. I mean, like, if they had an anti-cheat and everything was balanced and Warzone played just like it did before Cold War integration, I think Warzone's popularity would skyrocket again. But I think studios are starting to see that they need to focus more on their own individual titles rather than just like the collective of Warzone. And yes, from now on, Call of Duty will have to integrate with Warzone, and it's something that will be expected to see, I think, not only by the publishing studios like Activision and Infinity Ward and Treyarch, but I think players are going to start to expected as well, just because it happened with Cold War. So people are going to expect when World War II Vanguard comes out, hey, it needs to be integrated into Warzone. So I think if the development studios actually start focusing more on their own Call of Duty games, we're gonna see way better Call of Duties within the next couple of years. And the thing that sucks is because the games are launching with little to no content compared to games like, look at Modern Warfare 3 and how much content dropped when that game was launched compared to just Black Ops 4, Cold War, and Modern Warfare 2019. I think if you combined literally Black Ops 4, Cold War, and Modern Warfare, the content that those games launched with, minus Black Ops 4 Zombies, of course, because Black Ops 4 Zombies was like basically a whole DLC season right at launch, but we won't count that. But multiplayer wise, between these three games, like the three newest Call of Duties that have launched multiplayer wise, I think all of the content combined at launch between all of those games equals to like Modern Warfare 3. And that just shows how much focus has gone into Warzone, because I think genuinely that's going to be the issue with the lack of content. Is just Black Ops 4, they focused on Battle Royale very heavily with Blackout, and I think the same thing with Modern Warfare and Cold War is Warzone was in such a spotlight that they focused on that rather than like core games themselves. And I think Activision themselves are starting to realize that when they neglect the main title Call of Duties, that starts to hurt Warzone as well, because I think Warzone is successful not only just because it's free to play, but because it has the Call of Duty title attached to it. And if the Call of Duty title is doing well, Warzone will be doing well. Modern Warfare 2019 was doing really well at the time before Warzone's launch, so Warzone was doing really well. Cold War was not in a really good state at launch and had a lot of issues with the game, which have been resolved now, but at the time it was not doing well. And because Cold War wasn't doing well, Warzone started to slip as well. So I think it correlates 2 and 2 together. And I think the title Call of Duty games like Cold War and Modern Warfare influence Warzone a lot more than a lot of people think. Now, of course, there's going to be the issues with hackers and all that stuff, but that's just a completely different conversation as well. But talking base game, if Modern Warfare sucked, Warzone would have sucked. If Cold War sucks, Warzone starts to suck. We've seen it with the integration of Cold War. When they started integrating all the Cold War issues, and really they just carried over from Cold War too, we just see these things affect Warzone negatively. So I think the same thing will happen with World War II Vanguard. If World War II Vanguard performs poorly and is a widely regarded as a bad COD, I think that will reflect in Warzone as well, because the main Call of Duty community will correlate 2 and 2 together, and then all the World War II stuff within Warzone won't be liked. So I think, of course, the free-to-play players who have never played Call of Duty before and only play Warzone, like they only play free-to-play games because they never want to purchase a game, or just they're brand new to Call of Duty and just PC gaming in general, or just console gaming in general, and they're playing Warzone for free, I think those people aren't going to be influenced as much by the title games, but it'll trickle down too, right? Like the main Call of Duty community that has played like every game and voices their opinions and is very passionate about the game, once they've voiced their opinions on World War II, that will trickle to Warzone. And then those free-to-play players that only play Warzone and don't really follow what happens in the main title Call of Duties, they hear all the flack that Warzone and World War II gets, and it affects them as well, and it trickles down the pipeline as well. So it ends up affecting all Warzone players and all Call of Duty players, regardless of what titles they play. And it's always been like that too, right? Like even before Battle Royale was introduced into Call of Duty, the main titles and how successful they were affected the success of Call of Duty, not just for that title, but for the next couple of years. Look at Infinite Warfare and Black Ops 4. Sure, some people liked Infinite Warfare, but a lot of people disregarded it and basically just played Modern Warfare Remastered because a lot of people hated Infinite Warfare. So coming the next season when Black Ops 4 came out, you look at the Black Ops franchise and you look at games like Black Ops 2, Black Ops 1, and Black Ops 3, and those are some pretty damn good games. A lot of people really enjoyed those games, but Black Ops 4, other than zombies, didn't have a lot of content and had a lot of issues. Even zombies had a lot of issues. Like, Black Ops 4 was almost unplayable at launch, so it lowers the expectations for future years. And then people hear Modern Warfare 2019 is coming out. Sure, it sounds incredible, but everyone starts to have their doubts because of how Call of Duty's been performing. So it falls in this kind of like whirlpool of, it's almost like a butterfly effect. Like if something happens in Modern Warfare 3, we feel the effects of it all the way until now, and we'll continue to feel the effects of it for future generations. And it's true, Modern Warfare 3 was when Infinity Ward left, and they pretty much had to have Sledgehammer come in as a support studio, and it was like the first Call of Duty with major support studios to help finish the game. And ever since then, the whole entire Call of Duty ecosystem has changed because Sledgehammer went from a support studio in Modern Warfare 3 to developing their very own games like Advanced Warfare and World War II, which changed the Call of Duty cycle, and that changed the trend of Call of Duty. So we're still feeling the ripples and changes that happened years ago. So I think people are just starting to realize this as well. And I think the studios have known this for a while, or are just starting to understand it, just like the community is as well, where they can't focus strictly on Warzone to be their pride and joy. Like it's obviously what makes them the most money, but I think they've learned, at least within the past little bit here, because of all the issues that Warzone has had, that they need to focus back on the title games themselves. So hopefully we see some more effort put into the title games. I have mediocre hopes for COD 2021 World War II Vanguard, and then my hopes are obviously high for Call of Duty 2022 and 2023 when Modern Warfare 2 comes out and the next Black Ops game comes out. Let me know what you guys think in the comments section down below. Links in the description for some other social media. Subscribe for more videos in the future. I'm about to head out, and if there is one, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.